Suzanne. That was a great way to open with a song like that. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm Roger, your platform assistant this morning. I want to welcome you all here. Let's begin our service by standing and singing God's Love is Deep Within Me.
God's love is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. God's love is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. God's love is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. God's love is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. God's love is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. God's love is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. God's love is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. God's love is deep within me, ever satisfying my soul. I'm just a spoke in the wheel, one grain of sand, but it feels so right to be right where I am. One little part of a much bigger plan, and the longer I'm here, the more I understand. I am one, we are one, like the rays of the sun. When it's all said and done, I am one, I are one. I'm just one drop of rain that falls from the sky, that runs to the stream, then the ocean's passing by. I could do worse than to give myself up to the crest of a wave on the ocean of love. I am one, we are one, like the rays of the sun. When it's all said and done, I am one, we are one.
Before we go into any announcements, I'd like to ask if anyone is here for the first time. We'd like to just have you raise your hand. We'd like to present you with a packet of information about Unity, and we welcome you. And please stay afterwards for refreshments downstairs, and we'll get to know you a little bit better. Thank you for being here. Announcements, there's some in your bulletin we just want to highlight a bit. First of all, tomorrow, Labor Day, there's the annual walk across the Douglas-Saugatuck Bridge, which is a highlight of the year around here. Hopefully, I see it's all under construction, so I don't know what all the barriers are going to be, but it'll be interesting. So we're going to walk with our banner, the church members together, and it says it begins at 9 o'clock, so we're going to meet over there right on the Douglas side of the bridge at 9 o'clock. Water and cookies are provided halfway across for your nourishment. And usually they have T-shirts available to buy, which are...
So if I may say...
Wear your Unity shirt also.
Right. So remember that Unity is the best kept secret, and we are undoing that completely. And this is another attempt to undo that, so we will be absolutely present there. And I invite you all to come, all of you. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. You're thinking that the person sitting next to you will go to the bridge walk. And guess what? The person sitting next to you is having the same thought, that you will show up. So guess who will show up? Patty and I. So I invite you all to think of you. It is I who's going to show up. It is I who's going to represent Unity on the lakeshore. And luckily, halfway through the bridge, there's refreshments and cookies, because it's a serious walk, and fingers crossed, we will have transportation back across the bridge. But afterwards, we will meet at the waypoint for some lunch, brunch, food, whatever it is, just breaking the bread and just chatting away. And I suggest that we meet at 8:45 at the Douglas side of the bridge. And then we will walk the bridge, and then we'll go to waypoint. So I thank you all for coming.
Thanks, Jean. Another philosophy about what you were just saying, that your person next to you may be thinking, they're thinking of that you're going to go. A Unity minister, Edwin Gaines, who's very popular, does great lessons on tithing and success. When she's going to do her lecture on the next day or do a special workshop, she always says to the congregation, "You think you might have other plans for tomorrow, but please come to my lecture." Martin Klatenoff is going to be teaching a class on The Eye of the Storm, a book by Unity minister, and that is going to be on September 5th and 12th here at 7:30 on those Wednesday evenings. There's more information about that in your bulletin. And on Thursday, September 13th, is Unity's World Day of Prayer, and the sanctuary here will be open for prayer and meditation throughout the day. So keep in mind that great event also.
And from 7 to 7:30, we will have a very short service of meditation, music, and prayer. So we invite you to come to that. That's how we shall close the day. 7 to 7:30.
Anybody else have any other announcements they'd like? Jerry?
Roger, I might just mention the bridge walk. This is originated as a school for the bridge walk across the bridge in Enigma. And when you get there, you'll probably start around 9. The actual walk won't go off about 9:30, but they'll have the town choir will be there, the backpackers, the cheerleaders from the school. So it's a big deal and a lot of fun, but everybody's there to just enjoy that time together and kind of amuse ourselves about our walk, which is like 25 miles. Versus the bridge walk, which is 5 miles across.
Where do we meet up?
I'm sorry?
Where do we meet up?
On this side of where the bridge is right now, there's a road coming out from on this side and on the other side, right there. Everybody meets there. They have the road goes off down to 1 lane, so we're not plenty of room.
Thank you, Jerry. Any other announcements? Okay, now Carol Johnson is going to give us our call to worship.
This being Friendship Sunday, I We've all known sunshine, we've all known rain. We all have fallen and stood up again. What does it matter if I don't know your name? There are no strangers here. There are no strangers here. There are no strangers here. We've loved before and we'll love again. And there are no strangers here. Look at the sky now and count the miles. Look at eternity and mark the time. This earth is ours for such a little while. There are no strangers here. There are no strangers here. There are no strangers here. We've loved before and we'll love again. And there are no strangers here. Behind each face a familiar soul. Amidst the trivia the truth is told. For those who seek there is a heart of gold. There are no strangers here. There are no strangers here. There are no strangers here. We've loved before and we'll love again. And there are no strangers here. There are no strangers here. There are no strangers here. We've loved before and we'll love again. And there are no strangers here, my friend.
Every Sunday service we light the Christ candle, which symbolizes the Christ spirit within every single one of us. For it is so true, and it is so hard to remember, especially when we're trotting through the hard times, that the Christ is within every single one of us. When we feel so down, when it seems like hope and light and goodness shall never come into our lives again, that Christ's light is always there in us. We are starting a new practice here at Unity on the Lakeshore. So during this prayer that I will say in the next couple of minutes, at one point I will invite you all to say out loud the name of a person that you are holding especially in gratitude or in prayer if they're going through a hard time. So I invite you to think about somebody, and when I give you the invitation, just say it out loud, and then we shall bless them. So Father, Mother God, divine everything, we are so grateful for the light within all of us. We are so grateful for the Christ within all of us. And we are grateful that we don't all go through hard times in the same time. Therefore, we can be there for each other. When one is down, the other one's up. Whenever it is our turn, we go to what we need to, so we may learn, so we may grow. And we especially hold in mind, please say the name of your loved one. And we give gratitude for their strength, We give gratitude for the healing. We give gratitude knowing that the highest, best, and good is unfolding. And together we say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Martin, did you want to say something about our green? Not today, next time. Okay, all right, thank you.
Now is the time for our first affirmation of faith during the service. I'll say it once and then ask you to repeat it with me. There is only one presence and one power in me and in the universe. God, the good, omnipotent. Together, there is only one presence and one power in me and in the universe. God, the good, omnipotent. And now Kathy is going to give us the daily word.
Well, we'll get you.
Very good. The daily word is missing.
Sorry.
It's a new month.
September 2, right?
Yeah, thank you. Okay, wholeness. That's the word for today. Through the healing power of gratitude, I am whole. I love that. Whatever I appreciates. I give thanks for the blessing of my body and the perfect life within each cell and atom is called forth. As I see my body whole and healthy, those qualities I manifest. I give thanks for spirit expressing through the wondrous network of my body temple. I give thanks for the joy in my life, and I call forth the perfect love of God in me. Love radiates through my being to heal any wounds, revealing my innate wholeness. I give thanks for abundance in my life, and I call forth infinite supply. I am blessed this day and grateful to the giver of all gifts. My life is whole and complete. And from Luke, then one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back, praising God with a loud voice.
Thank you.
God in you, God in me, is the love that sets us free. God in you, God in me, is the light we all can be. It's the essence of us all, the whole of humankind. It's the source of all my good, the universal mind. And God in you, God in me, is the truth of who we are. God in you, God in me, is more powerful by far than anything we can think or dream. It's the best that we can be. And so it is, God in you, God in me. God in you, God in me, it's the love that sets us free. God in you, God in me, is the light we all can be. It's the essence of our all, the whole of humankind. It's the source of all my good, the universal mind. God in you, God in me,
As we enter our time in meditation, I invite you to close your eyes, to close out any visual distraction, to create a safe place for the person sitting next to you to experience themselves exactly as it is true for them in this moment. For this is a safe place. This is a safe place for you to open up, for you to break down, for you to grow, to listen, to be amazed, and have it be all okay. In this holy moment, your heart is opening. In this holy moment, you are receptive and ready. You are ready to understand. You are ready to let go of that which no longer serves you. You are ready and willing to reconsider truths whose time have come to pass. And you are ready and willing to replace those with a new understanding, with a new thought that is full of life, that is full of hope and full of possibilities. That when you think that thought, you are present to your full potential, and you can hardly wait to manifest. You can hardly wait to put it in practice and create a new life that works for you. That works for you, for those you love, for the whole of humanity. A new life where you understand that you are a unique manifestation of the very source that you emanate from. And you are unafraid to welcome life. You are unafraid to address anything in life that you come in touch with. And you are unafraid to evaluate and reevaluate and let go of that which no longer serves you. Oh, what gratitude. That fills the heart. That creates space for life. That creates space for experiencing yourself as you truly are, without the shackles of ingrained teachings. That are simply false. Father, Mother, God, Divine Everything, we are so grateful that it is possible for us to come to life regardless of the numbers that represent our age. We are grateful that it is possible for us to resurrect. From a place that felt constricting, unwelcoming, and unsupportive. but we have the ability to change our lives by changing our thoughts, by changing our beliefs. And for that we're so grateful. For we know that there is hope for us. For we are centered in who we are, and we are unafraid to choose ourselves for once. And for that, together we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, good morning and welcome again. It is so wonderful to be here with you today. And I am grateful to all of you who make this Sunday experience so special. I thank you, Roger, for filling in on the platform for us. And we're always blessed by your music. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you for being with us. And Chris and Suzanne, thank you also for making it special. Sandy on AV, Martin and Cindy provided the goodies for today downstairs, so be sure to come. There's a lot of fruit and a lot of goodies. I'm looking forward to that. And Emmy and Jerry, thank you for welcoming us today. And for the flowers, I'm grateful, Marilyn. Look how beautiful they are. They're Patty's favorite, just so you know. Today's title is The Money Enigma. And this is usually, in this Western culture of ours, a pretty touchy subject. In fact, I believe that most of us would much rather talk about our sex life than talk about money. However, today, we are definitely going to talk about money. So, first of all, I am going to begin by reading you some quotes by some people who have spoken on money. This is Cummings, E.E. Cummings. I'm living so far beyond my income that we may almost be said to be living apart. Edith Wharton. The only way not to think about money is to have a great deal of it. Isn't that the truth? Ernest Haskins, or Ernest, save a little money each month, and at the end of the year, you'll be surprised at how little you have. Errol Flynn. My problem lies in reconciling my gross habits with my net income. Jonathan Swift, a wise man should have money in his head, but not in his heart. And my favorite, this is Jackie Mason. I have enough money to last me the rest of my life, unless I buy something. Truth is, money is an item that we come in touch with all the time. And this has been true for the ages. Now, money didn't always look like the green dollars that we are accustomed to today. In fact, I watched on a History or National Geographic channel that there was this tribe on an island, and their currency is these 7 and 8 feet tall stone blocks. So think about that. That's kind of hard to move around, but one's wealth is represented by how many of these humongous stone rocks one owns. And they don't really move them around. They just say, and that belongs to me, and that is mine, and that is mine, and that is mine, and that is mine. So we have learned through the ages that we have to have some sort of currency, whatever that looks like, to buy goods, to buy things that we need for food, shelter, clothing, and a sense of security, of course, we draw from that. So what is money then? And that is often a question. What is money? And of course, the Bible says that the money is the root of all evil. And that is one of the most misquoted Bible quotes, because the whole quote goes like this: the love of money is the root of all evil. And that is a big difference, because here at Unity, what do we say? What do we ever have to work with? Consciousness. It's all about consciousness. So it is about how we relationship with money that matters. It's not the money, it's the relationship. But what so often happens, teachers come, successful teachers come, those who have earned great wealth by doing that which they love, by understanding the right relationship, the right consciousness around money. So they come and teach us, and they tell us, and this is how I did it. And we don't pay attention to how I did it, we just want the money. So you see, the finger points to how I did it, and we worship the finger. We want the money. We always tend to worship the wrong thing. So, what is money then? Money is a symbol of enabling. It's an energy. It's a symbol of enabling. When I release money, I engage trust and faith. Because what have I given you? A piece of paper. And in the corner, there may be a number of 1, 5, 10, 100, who knows what. But by giving it to you, I have started a cycle of trust and faith, right? You trust and you have faith that that money is backed up with some kind of value that is completely invisible to us. And as a return, you give me something that I want that enables me to enjoy my life experience. Money is nothing but a symbol of enabling. Now, here's the deal. In Unity, we say that all we ever have to work with is consciousness. And we want to make sure that we have just the right consciousness in every aspect of life, as long as we don't talk about money. Just as long as we don't talk about money. And I believe that you cannot be as in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You cannot be a fully self-realized person. You cannot be a fully aware and integrated person where you are in complete harmony and balance, where your humanity and your divinity are in complete harmony and balance. You can't have that unless you fine-tune and you deal with your consciousness around every single aspect of life. And if around money your belief system is faulty, then I believe that whenever you come up against a hard time, your finances will fail you, will simply fail you. In that area, you will always have that room to grow. So why not start now? Why not start by honestly acknowledging what are your beliefs around money? Is money a bad thing? Is money a good thing? Well, let me tell you, money just is. It's neither bad, it's neither good. It's the consciousness behind it. It's what we do with the money that makes, we say the money bad. But that's a mistake too, because the money still is. It's what we do with it that's bad. You understand? But we tend to attach that stigma to money itself, and that is a mistake. And if you, on any level, whether you admit it to yourself or not, on any level, conscious or subconscious level, believe that money is bad, guess how much of it will you attract to yourself? Or will you forever repel it? Because why would your subconscious let you down? That's what the subconscious ever does. It raises to the opportunity to prove you right. And if money is bad, you shall be poor. And then, what we do, we dignify poverty. We say, well, it's better to be poor than to be filthy rich and mean. And I don't know about that either. All I know, it's better to be a good person. You don't have to be a Scrooge who's sitting in a cold, dark room, Ebenezer Scrooge, right? Counting his coins. Maybe that's the image that we connect with wealth. And then we say we don't want that. But again, what is showing up there more than anything? Is it money or the consciousness around it? It's the consciousness around it. Often people say, but Jesus, look at Jesus. He was a poor man. He wasn't. Jesus was not a poor man. There are records in the Bible where it says there were women who gave freely of their substance, which is they supported his lifestyle. It was said of Gandhi, who just wore a cloth around his body. Probably cloth is not even a word, right? And a cloth around his body, and he was just spinning his own the wool or whatever that was. And people said, oh, it takes a great deal of money to keep Gandhi in poverty. And Jesus was not a poor man. In fact, his robe was seamless. The one that the Roman soldiers then played. They did what? Lots. They throw the rocks. Who wins the seamless cloth? They didn't want to cut it to have a piece. They wanted the whole seamless robe. Because imagine, look at your clothing now. How many seams do you have? Like everywhere. How much time and effort and knowledge does it take to create a robe that is completely seamless? Let me tell you, something like that would be valuable. Something like that would be expensive. That's what Jesus wore. He didn't wear anything cheap. He just had a consciousness around it. that you didn't notice that he wasn't needing. And that's the truth. He didn't have a need for money. His consciousness was well balanced and in harmony because he understood that money is nothing else but the manifestation of the divine substance that is endless, that is completely endless. So this is just a manifested form of it. And as I have manifested little, I can manifest lots. It is all within the realm of my consciousness. It's all about my consciousness. So Jesus was of the consciousness that I have a lot. And guess what? I want you to have a lot too. For it is my Father's great pleasure to give you the kingdom. It is my Father's great pleasure to give you the kingdom. Find the quote in the Bible that says, and I want you to live in poverty and misery, and may you have a life of only hardship and need and lack. That is never God's intention for us. And yet, we tend to zoom in on the consciousness that supports that sort of message. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? Now remember what I told you a week or two ago, that one of the messages that was very loud and clear in my household, gee, there's more sausage. More days than sausage. More days than sausage. So in other words, you have to be very careful with how you portion that which you have, because there's always lack. There's always less than there's need for. There's more days than sausage. So see, we grew up with a consciousness of lack very often from home. Some people don't have it, of course, and they are lucky. They are lucky because they are unafraid to go for the money. And then you know what else we do? When we start dreaming. And of course we dream big, at least in the beginning, before we learn to dream little, because they tell us, look at reality. Why are your dreams so big? So we dream big and we say, I want this, I want to manifest this kind of lifestyle. And then you don't. And then you say, you lie to yourself, oh well, I didn't really need it. I didn't really want it. And in fact, that is nothing than spiritual laziness. It is where you don't stay focused on your goal and you understand that you're able to manifest whatever you want because it all comes from the limitless source. Money is just an enabling symbol, and it is all flowing from the limitless form. Now, when I say these words, are you noticing the arguments in your mind, in your head, against it? Are you noticing how you're arguing with me and say, wait till you have to deal with my bank account. Wait till you have to deal with my bills, with my income, and the discrepancy between my income and my outgoing expenses. It's easy for you to say. It's easy to talk, and it's harder to manifest. And it's true. It is easier to talk than to manifest. It's true. And it is possible to manifest because it is all about consciousness. So once again, probably the words I'm saying are challenging to you. So welcome that challenge and see what it means. See where you can take it. See where is the place that still calls for growth in your life. Where is it that you have a consciousness of lack? And please know that there are many people who have a lot of money and they still live in lack. They still want to hold on to every penny that they've ever come about because they live in fear and they live in lack. So you see, consciousness that it's all about. The love of money is the root of all evil. The same way, the right consciousness around money is the root of all kinds of prosperity. So pay attention to the consciousness around money. So here's what I recommend, okay? Regardless of where you're at, whether you're in fear around money or not, this is what I recommend. Whenever money comes into your bank account, you get your paycheck, you get your social security, whatever money you get, look at it in gratitude and bless it. When was the last time you did that? Ever? Look at it, hold it, and bless it. Because to bless, it means to there's a word I can't think of right now. Confer prosperity upon. Confer, is that the right word? To confer prosperity upon. That's what it means to bless. So it comes into your bank account, into your hands, bless it. And you know what? Whenever you spend it, whenever you give it, bless it. How many times this is how you want to pay? Right? Because that's your consciousness around it. That's fear. That if I give it out, there's simply not enough. So affirm this endless cycle of which simply you are a part of. There's nothing to fear. There's all to just embrace. And set your consciousness right around it. You know, it's up to you to fear something, and it's up to you not to. It is very, very true. You know, in our relationship with Patty, I tend to be the one who's more concerned about money than Patty is. And the truth is, I see that it's not serving me at all. And I'm seeing that I'm being proven wrong time and again. There's always enough. We can always do what we need to. There's always enough, and there's ways for it to come. And imagine if I set my consciousness right, how that would change. Patty is the one who always just blesses it. She has peace around it. And the quality of our lives around it is remarkably different. So my challenge, and I am doing this with you guys, every penny that comes into my possession, I bless it. And every penny that I give out, I bless it. Because it's nothing. You see, when you make a thing more than what it is, or when you make a thing less than what it is, that's when you lose touch. That's when it becomes your enemy. Because you no longer see the right proportions. See it for what it is. It is money, it is important, and it is an enabling symbol. It is enabling you to live the quality life that you want to live. It is enabling you to make your dreams manifest. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Is money good? Is money bad? Money just is. And it is an enabling symbol. Think of it that way. It's not something to fear. It's not something to worship. It's something to use to make your life work for you. So, if you have been putting your dreams on hold because, oh my God, I won't have enough money for my old age, then set that fear aside and live. Use this enabling symbol to enrich your life experience here on earth. See it for what it is. Not for more, not for less, but just exactly for what it is. And when I said in the beginning that in this culture, we'd much rather talk about our sex life than about money, I mean it. It's true. So, undo that. And it's up to you. Undo that. get comfortable with thinking about money, get comfortable with talking about money, and get comfortable with allowing the flow of money to you and from you. You are an inlet of God, and whenever you are ready, you can become the outlet of God and all the potential that God is. That's who you are. So how scary is money? Come on, people. Not at all. Not at all. So how scary is money? Not at all. How much do we have to fear talking about money? Not at all. Why? Because in consciousness we are comfortable with it. Because we understand that it is all about the consciousness and not this money. It's the consciousness. And in consciousness, it is up to us to be prosperous. It is up to us to have all the riches. And manifesting is just a matter of time if you hold it in consciousness truly and you don't lie to yourself about it. You understand what I'm saying? You're honest about it. So are we then balanced people who understand that we need to set our relationships straight around money? And money cannot rule our relationships with ourselves, money cannot rule our relationships with God, and money cannot rule our relationships with each other. Money is there to enable these relationships to grow, to strengthen. So money is energy that we are unafraid to work with. And for that, we are grateful. Thank you.
As you were speaking, I was thinking that I think we all realize that money is a medium of exchange. And with our consciousness, we can either see it as rare or well done. Now Marilyn's going to give us her story of unity.
Can you hear me? And I thought I'd change it around a little bit. I called my mom a thoroughly minded Millie, and I want to begin by telling you about her and how her journey influenced me. Orphaned by 4, my mom went to live with elderly grandparents who had already raised 7 children to adults. Left to her own devices pretty much, she played in the woods across the street, loved every bird, knew every bird call, loved to read, had a passion for writing. Emerson, who later on was her favorite author. She read Mary Baker Eddy and Ernest Holmes materials. And when she was lonely or scared, she said she always knew that Jesus was holding her hand. She created our lives with her ideas and her intentions during the Depression. And whatever she dreamed up would happen, whether it was Holmes or my father's work. And I grew up to believe these things too. Even though we attended fundamentalist churches, the negatives were not emphasized in our family. Kids came over to my house to sing while my mom jazzed up hymns and pop tunes. I was the serious one, I think. I wanted to please God, and I was my own worst judge. Later, while raising our family, Carrie, Dave, Debbie, and Tom, we began to attend the church, and were charter members of the Christ Memorial Church in Holland, and we went there for about 30 years. But during this time, I was immersing myself with the New Age materials, Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, Ernest Holmes, Course in Miracles. And I remember one day when I read Maxwell Maltz's Cybernetics, I was impressed by his idea that about how the programmed missile was used in England over the Second World War. No matter how many zigs and zags it took, it always reached its goal. This really influenced me through my life and helped me to let go of some of the judgment I had in my own progress and course. I thought, well, I'm just zigging now. I'm going to get there to God because that was my goal. I've always had and knowing that God and loving others as my goal. So I've learned to forgive myself when I say it. I taught school and art about 45 years and was always interested in learning more about the possibilities of the miracles Jesus did and using them in my life. And I went to San Antonio every year to the gatherings of John Randolph Price at Walter Stark's ranch. And when I was ready for it, one day I found 5 volumes of Masters of the Far East by Darren Spalding, which had been there for I don't know how long, right in my own bookcase. I've read them over and over. After my kids had grown up and George died, I left the church. I still then had been to Unity in Grand Rapids a few times, and I knew that my tithing wasn't for the church, it was for my own good, and so I tithed to Unity in Missouri. That very year that I stopped going to Christ Memorial, I got a letter from Reverend Donna Snyder, and she was trying to see where the next church that she wanted to be pastored of should be held, and whether in Saugatuck or Holland. You can guess what I wrote back. And I said, Saugatuck, definitely. And later on, I remember meeting in Donna's house, and we chose a temporary board. And other things were going on with Gary and other people from Chicago, but I didn't know much about that at the time. All these experiences and learning are fine, but more and more I realized that letting go of everything I thought I knew and listening for God's energies is much more important than what I thought I needed to know. I always thought I didn't know enough. I need to learn a little more. And all I need to do is what we say in our lighting our candle. I'm part of God, and God is always in me, and so often as I can accept this, I will be in touch with God. That's all I need to do. I always wanted to belong to a church where the people didn't bow down and worship Jesus and talk about Jesus all the time, but that the people would do what Jesus told us to do, and that is love each other.
Thank you, Marilyn. You certainly are a great example for all of us. Now's the time we come to our offertory blessing. You would take your tithes, your offerings in your hand, and I will say this offertory affirmation once, and I'll have you say it with me. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am thankful. Together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am thankful. Now we have some more special music for Carol.
This music will be more special because you can all sing along. This is a request from Reverend G, who loves this song. Love of my life, I am crying, I am not dying, I am dancing, dancing love will find you, truth will unbind you. Seek out a song of the soul, and we'll sing this song. Why don't you sing along? And we can sing for a long, long time. Why don't you sing this song? Why don't you sing along? And we can sing for a long, long time. Come to your life like a warrior, nothing will bore you. You can be happy. Follow your heart, love will find you, truth will unbind you. Seek out a song of the soul, and we'll sing this song. Why don't you sing along? And we can sing for a long, long time. Why don't you sing this song? Why don't you sing along? And we can sing for a long, long time. Love of my life, I am crying, I am not dying, I am dancing, dancing along in the madness. There is no sadness, only a song of the soul. We'll sing this song. Why don't you sing along? And we can sing for a long, long time. Why don't you sing this song? Why don't you sing along? And we can sing for a long, long time. Why don't you sing this song? Why don't you sing along? And we can sing for a long, long time. Why don't you sing this song? Why don't you sing along? And we can sing for a long, long time.
Thank you so much. It was so wonderful. We apologize for the malfunctioning screen. Unity on the Lakeshore is a tithing church, so 10% of all our income we tithe to. This month is going to Ladders of Hope, which is a local food bank in Fenville, to Harbor Humane Society, the Association of Unity Churches, the Great Lakes Region's Unity, to Silent Unity, and Unity Institute. Father, Mother God, divine everything, we are so grateful that we can be part of this cycle of abundance and prosperity. And we are so grateful that we are unafraid to participate with our giving, as we understand that giving and receiving is all the one. And we affirm goodness and oneness and wisdom whenever we choose to use this enabling symbol we call money. And we know and we affirm that all is well indeed. And together we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. And let us stand, and we shall say together the prayer for protection, and then we will sing the song, the peace song. Thank you. I have problems with words today. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God